Hello, denizens of the internet. Yes, it's time I weigh into this whole Canadian Nutzi debacle, as I know many of you rely on me for your Canadian news. Now, normally Canada in news would be considered an oxymoron. Not much happens up here. Of late, the news is that our Liberal government has been actively removing the rights of women to be called women because that would hurt the feelings of 0.06% of our population. But then our somnambulant country shot into the social media trending stratosphere when, during a visit by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to the Canadian Parliament, the Speaker of the House, who is also, was, a member of the ruling Liberal Party, introduced a citizen living in his riding, sitting in the gallery right up there. The Speaker praised the World War II efforts of 98-year-old Yaroslav Hunka. During his effusive praise of Hunka, the Speaker stumbled briefly after he mentioned that Hunka had fought the Russians. Perhaps it was at that point he realized that he had made a mistake. The Russians were allies, after all. Who were fighting the Russians? Well, the Germans, of course. Still, no one else twigged onto that because we are so caught up with Canada's huge support of Ukraine's war with Russia. Mr. Hunka received 2 standing ovations. There was lots of clapping and tears. Then the tracks fell off the skidoo when we soon found out that Hunka had volunteered for the 14th Waffen-Galicia Division of the SS. Oopsie. Jewish leaders were not happy about this. One, because we had in our midst an unprosecuted Nazi for which Canada did not have the best record for reasons I won't get into here. It's complicated, as Sabine Wren endlessly told Ezra on Ahsoka. I'm not going to defend Hunka here either, but the SS Galicia Division had been fighting the Russians and involved in the mass murder of Jews and Polish citizens. Which front was Hunka on? I can't tell you. I can tell you that after the 1932 Holodomor, when millions of Ukrainians were starved to death in a man-made famine engineered by the Soviets under Stalin, if you were offered an opportunity to join the Germans in fighting the Soviets, would you take it? Probably yes. Also, let's not forget the Russians and Germans had a peace treaty until 1941 when Hitler decided to invade Russia. The Russians only became our allies after they were attacked. Based on my readings, Hunka never hid his background when immigrating to Canada, unlike many war criminals did. I could see him being hailed as a Ukrainian patriot, so it's not so simple as just saying he was a member of the Waffen-SS. Fighting the Russians wasn't a war crime, but the Jewish and Polish atrocities were. Where was Hunka? That's the question that should have been asked before inviting him to Parliament. Add to this the ever-present cloud over the head of our Minister of Finance, Chrystia Freeland, whose grandfather actually was a Nazi collaborator. Maybe we're not so boring after all. When I started this, I thought I'd have tons of funny quips, but it didn't turn out that way. So I will leave you with this bit by the Frantics, some secret footage of our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, when he was just an impressionable lad. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.
See him stepping down the street. He ain't no Cary Grant. The young man with the spiky hair and shiny leather pants. He's not too tall, he don't look rich. Why does he catch your eye? How come you feel afraid of him? He's just an average guy. He's wearing Nazi paraphernalia, dressed up in SS regalia. No one thinks you're a failure when you're teeth ain't right, but still he gets respect.
He wears a big swastika, but it's purely for effect.
He polishes his iron cross to give himself some power. He chose this image carefully to make the people cow. He's wearing Nazi paraphernalia, dressed up in SS regalia. No one thinks you're a failure when you're wearing Nazi paraphernalia. Paraphernalia. He wants to wear a uniform to be part of the group.
The RCMP turned him down,
As did the Boy Scout troop. But he will find acceptance still. You know he's not afraid, because he is his own third right.